Ever wondered what happens when two pirate captains team up against an alien empire? What if humanity's fate rested on the humor and audacity of space rogues? Our story dives into an epic clash against the sinister Xathari, filled with cunning plans, battle scars, and a treacherous alliance. The plot thickens with every strategy, leading to a climax that will leave you gasping. Will the pirates save the day, or doom us all? Don't miss the grand revelation. Hear it to the end if you dare. Captain Jax Holden stood on the bridge of the ravenous asterisk, his ship slicing through the star-studded void of space. The bridge hummed with anticipation, monitors flickering with readouts and statuses. "All clear, Captain," Officer Daniels reported, his voice as calm as space was vast. Jax smirked. "Famous last words, Daniels. Keep your eyes peeled." He turned to the viewport, taking in the serene expanse. Just another quiet night on the edge of oblivion. Perfect for a pirate. In the silence, a sudden beep interrupted. "Incoming ship!" The tactical officer's voice cracked with alarm. Jax's smirk widened, dark humor dancing in his eyes. Because of course something had to come and ruin the peace. "Identify!" Jax barked, gripping the edge of his chair. The familiar tension of impending action coiled in his gut. "Xathari warship, Captain. Closing fast." Jax's smile vanished. The Xathari were here. Brilliant. "All hands, battle stations!" he yelled. Red lights flashed and a klaxon rang out. His crew sprang into action, trained and precise. He watched the warship on the screen, sleek and menacing. Inwardly, he cursed. Typical Xathari arrogance, showing up with their fancy ships and thinking they own the place. But not today. "Tactical, prepare port and starboard cannons," Jax ordered. The ship's AI responded with a series of beeps, confirming the readiness. "Let's give our guests a warm welcome." "They're hailing us," Officer Daniels said, a note of dread in his voice. Jax nodded. "Put them through." The screen flickered, and the stern face of a Xathari commander appeared, his eyes cold and contemptuous. "Human vessel, this is Commander Threx of the Xathari Empire. Surrender or be destroyed." Jax chuckled, the sound dark and edged. "Commander, surrender isn't in our vocabulary, but destruction? We're quite fluent." He gestured to tactical, signaling to fire. The first volley hit the Xathari warship, explosions rippling along its hull. The bridge of the ravenous asterisk, shook with the return fire. Jax's heart raced, adrenaline surging. This was where he thrived. "Evasive maneuvers!" he shouted. The ravenous asterisk, twisted and turned, dodging incoming blasts. The viewport showcased the dance of space combat, ships darting between stars and laser fire. Through the chaos, Jax's mind remained razor sharp. "Send a torpedo to their engines," he commanded. "Torpedo away," came the reply, followed by a satisfying explosion on the screen. The Xathari ship listed to one side, sparks flickering from its once pristine hull. Jax grinned. "That's for all those sleepless nights in your slave pits, you bastards," he muttered under his breath. "Captain, we've received a message," Officer Daniels said, urgency in his tone. "It's from Captain Drake. She suggests a truce." Jax felt a twinge of surprise. Marla Drake, the most cunning and infuriating pirate he'd ever crossed paths with. She wanted a truce? Now that was interesting. "Put her through," Jax said, curiosity piqued. The screen changed to reveal Marla's intense gaze. "Jax, we need to talk," she said without preamble. He arched an eyebrow. "Nice to see you too, Marla. What's this about a truce?" Her eyes narrowed. "The Xathari. They plan to enslave humanity. I need your help." Jax leaned back, considering. The thought of the Xathari conquering Earth churned his stomach. And teaming up with Marla? The irony was almost too rich. He liked it. "All right, Marla," Jax said, his voice steady. "You've got my attention. But if this is a trick—" "It's not," she cut him off. "Meet at the coordinates I'm sending. We'll discuss terms." The screen went dark, and Jax exhaled slowly. A truce with Marla Drake. Xathari warships on their tail. What a lovely predicament. "Daniels, set a course for those coordinates," Jax ordered. His mind buzzed with dark humor and anticipation. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Captain Jax Holden stood on the metallic deck of an abandoned space station, his hand resting casually on his blaster. An eerie silence permeated the place. broken occasionally by the hum of distant machinery. A meeting spot picked by Marla Drake. Trust her to choose a location dripping with suspense. A door slid open with a hiss, and there she was. Marla, her raven black hair pulled into a tight braid, eyes glinting with determination. "You made it," she said, as if she had any doubt. "Couldn't resist your charm," Jax replied, his dark humor masking the tension he felt. "So what's this about you needing my help?" Marla crossed her arms, her expression unreadable. "The Xathari. They plan to attack Earth. But it's not just that. They're going to cleanse the planet, wipe out humanity. We have a narrow window to strike at their main fleet before they launch." Jax raised an eyebrow, the corner of his mouth twitching. "Cleansing? They certainly have a way with euphemisms. What's your plan?" She produced a holographic map displaying the positions of Xathari warships. "We hit their supply routes, force them to spread thin before the main assault." Jax studied the map, his mind racing. The Xathari were powerful but overconfident, always underestimating humans. Maybe, just maybe, Marla's plan could work. "All right," he said finally. "We'll play along, but I need something from you." Marla's gaze sharpened. "What?" "Total cooperation," Jax replied smoothly. "No secrets, no surprises. If we're going to do this, we're doing it my way too." She hesitated, then nodded. "Agreed, for now." They shook hands, sealing the most unlikely alliance in the galaxy. As their crews began mingling, Jax couldn't help but marvel at the irony. Two pirates, one mission, against an empire. He glanced towards Marla, expecting to see signs of doubt, but her eyes were locked on the map, calculating, planning. "Captain Holden," his comm buzzed. It was Daniel, sounding unusually tense. "We've got company." Jax's humorless chuckle couldn't be contained. "When it rains, it pours." He turned to Marla. "Seems the Xathari are keen on attending our little get-together." Marla's hand was already on her weapon. "Let's give them a warm welcome then." They moved to the command center, where giant viewports revealed the approaching Xathari ships. Laser fire started raining down upon the station, shaking it to its core. Jax felt the familiar rush of adrenaline. "Get those shields up!" he roared. "Marla, your ship's any good in a scrap?" "Better than yours," she shot back, a rare smirk gracing her face. She began barking orders, her crew leaping into action. The battle was intense and immediate. Jax watched as the Xathari ships swarmed in. He could feel their arrogance, their belief that humanity was just an obstacle to crush. Yet every shot fired back, every maneuver executed by his crew, screamed defiance. "Arm the plasma torpedoes," Jax ordered. "Let's show them what humans are made of." Daniels nodded. "Torpedoes primed, Captain." "Fire!" Jax commanded. He watched, satisfaction blooming, as explosions rippled through the enemy fleet. Marla's voice cut through the chaos. "We've got a breach on Deck 7, sending a team." Jax admired her efficiency, even in the heat of battle. Her crew was holding its own against the Xathari onslaught, proving that maybe, just maybe, there was more to this alliance than sheer desperation. As the firefight raged on, Jax couldn't help but think of Earth, fragile and unaware of the danger looming above. His dark humor fell away, replaced by cold resolve. "Marla, we need to flank them," he said. "Draw their fire, then hit them hard from both sides." She nodded, falling into step with his plan without hesitation. For a moment they moved and fought as one, two pirates against the universe. With calculated strikes and ruthless efficiency, they began to turn the tide. The Xathari ships were powerful, but they had underestimated the ferocity and cunning of human pirates. It was their fatal mistake. Within moments, the Xathari were retreating, their fleet battered and broken. The comically tragic grandeur of an arrogant empire, humbled by those they deemed lesser. Jax turned to Marla, a rare moment of genuine respect passing between them. "Looks like this truce might just work," he said, the dark humor returning to his voice. She nodded, a small, almost imperceptible smile on her lips. "Just don't get used to it." As the remnants of the Xathari fleet vanished into the void, Jax couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. An unlikely alliance forged in the fires of battle, standing against an empire. How very human. Jax stood on the bridge of the ravenous asterisk, watching the stars drift by as though they held all the answers. He felt the weight of the galaxy pressing down, A lot rode on this truce. The Xathari wouldn't be underestimating them for long. "Captain, we've arrived at the coordinates," Officer Daniels announced, jolting Jax from his thoughts. The station bustled with activity, preparing for their next move. "Marla said we'd find a weak spot in the Xathari supply chain here," Jax said, mostly to himself. He turned to the crew. "Time to poke the beast." As the Ravenous Asterisk approached the asteroid field that doubled as a Xathari supply depot, Jax felt a sense of grim satisfaction. The Xathari thought they were untouchable. They were about to learn otherwise. Marla's ship, the Black Serpent Asterisk, appeared on the screen. "You ready, Jax?" Her voice was all business. He smirked. "Born ready. Let's show them what we're made of." The plan was straightforward. Hit the Xathari supply lines, create chaos, force them to divert their forces. It was risky, but Jax thrived on risk. He trusted Marla's strategic mind, as sharp as any blade, and his crew's unyielding resolve. The asteroid field was thick, providing excellent cover. The Ravenous Asterisk moved stealthily, sensors scanning for the Xathari transports. Jax could feel the tension tightening, like a coiled spring. "There," Daniels pointed at a cluster of ships on the monitor. Jax's instincts kicked in. "Prepare to engage. Target their engines and escape routes. We hit them where it hurts." Daniels nodded and the crew readied the weapons. On the screen, Marla's ship mirrored their movements. The tension was almost palpable, the quiet before the storm. "Fire!" Jax commanded. The first volley erupted, plasma torpedoes streaking across the void, slamming into the unsuspecting Xathari transports. Explosions lit up the darkness, debris scattering like cosmic confetti. The Xathari scrambled, their surprise quickly turning to panic. Jax watched, satisfaction curling in his chest. "They didn't see that coming." Marla's voice crackled over the comm. "Nice shot, but don't get cocky." "Wouldn't dream of it," Jax replied, his tone dripping with dark humor. "Daniels, keep the pressure on them." The Xathari tried to mount a defense, but their efforts were uncoordinated, hampered by the chaos Jax and Marla had unleashed. The Ravenous Asterisk and the Black Serpent Asterisk danced through the debris, striking and dodging with lethal precision. Jax could see the tide turning. "Marla, they're breaking. Now's our chance." "Already on it," she responded. Her ship zeroed in on the largest Xathari transport, delivering a crippling blow to its core. Jax felt an almost triumphant glee. The Xathari were learning a harsh lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated. "Let's finish this," he said, more to himself than anyone. Just then, a warning signal blared. Daniels looked up, alarmed. "Captain, Xathari reinforcements incoming!" Jax cursed inwardly. So they'd caught on quicker than expected. "Marla, we've got company." "Understood," she replied. "Pull back. Regroup at Rally Point Alpha." The Ravenous Asterisk, and the Black Serpent Asterisk disengaged, withdrawing into the asteroid field's cover. The Xathari reinforcements pursued, but Jax's ship wove through the rocks with practiced skill. He could see Marla's doing the same, their synchronized maneuvers a testament to their uneasy alliance. They reached the rally point, a hidden alcove in the asteroid field. As soon as they were clear, Jax let out a breath he didn't realize he was holding. "Status report. Minor damage, no casualties," Daniels reported. "We gave them a good thrashing." Jax nodded, feeling a rare sense of camaraderie with Marla. She'd held up her end of the bargain. No tricks, no games. Maybe there was hope after all. Marla's image appeared on the screen again, her expression hard, but there was a glimmer of respect in her eyes. "Well done, Jax. We make a good team." He chuckled, the dark humor back in full force. "Don't get all sentimental on me, Marla. There's still a war to win." She nodded. "Agreed, but today we took the fight to them. Next time we finish it." Jax watched her image fade from the screen, the words lingering in his mind. They had won a battle, but the war was far from over. The Xathari were powerful, and they'd be coming back harder. But so would he. For every life the Xathari threatened, every home they aimed to destroy, Jax would be there, dark humor and all, ready to strike back. Jax stood on the bridge of the Ravenous Asterisk, eyes glued to the massive Xathari flagship looming ahead. The final battle was upon them, the kind that songs are written about, if they survive to tell the tale. He tried to mask his anxiety with a dark smile, but the weight of what lay ahead was impossible to ignore. "Captain, all systems ready," Daniels reported, trying to keep his voice steady. Jax nodded. "Good, we've come too far to back down now." Marla's ship hung close, a silent partner in their deadly waltz. A comm signal flashed, and Marla's determined face appeared on the screen. "Jax, we need to disable their shields. Without that, this is a suicide mission." He chuckled humorlessly. "Since when did you care about playing it safe?" "I don't," she shot back, "but I prefer winning to dying." "Fair point," Jax conceded. "Daniels, target their shield generators. Let's blow a hole wide enough for our torpedoes." The battle began with a jolt. The ravenous asterisk surged forward, laser cannons blazing. The Xathari responded instantly, their sleek warships spreading out like dark wings. Jax's heart pounded. This was it, the showdown he'd been waiting for. "Focus fire on their flanks," he ordered. "Make them dance." The ravenous asterisk pivoted gracefully amid the chaos, its weapons carving paths of destruction. Marla's ship darted in and out, hitting targets with pinpoint accuracy. They were doing it, actually giving the Xathari a run for their money. An explosion rocked the ravenous asterisk. Alarms wailed, lights flickered. "Direct hit to our port side," Daniels reported, a mix of fear and adrenaline in his voice. Jax shrugged off the panic. "Stay calm. We've been in worse scraps. Keep those shields up and hit them back harder." The Xathari flagship loomed closer, its ominous presence like a shadow over their hopes. Jax knew this was the critical moment. Taking down their shields was one thing. Destroying the flagship was another beast entirely. "Marla, you still with us?" Jax called over the comm. "Barely. We're taking heavy fire." Jax glanced at the tactical monitor. Marla's ship was indeed battered, but still fighting. "All right, time for a Hail Mary. You ready to get up close and personal?" Marla's laughter, even in the midst of chaos, was darkly invigorating. "Always." "Good," Jax said, his mind racing. "Meet you in the belly of the beast. Daniels, plot a collision course. We're taking this fight to their doorstep." Daniels' eyes widened. "Collision, sir?" "You heard me. We're ramming their hangar bay. Full speed ahead." The crew acted without hesitation. They'd followed Jax through crazier plans. This was part of the pirate's life. The ravenous asterisk surged forward, engines roaring, straight toward the Xathari flagship. Explosions raged around them, but Jax's focus was razor sharp. "Brace for impact!" Jax yelled. The ravenous asterisk, crashed into the flagship's hangar bay with a deafening crunch. Sparks flew, metal twisted, and the ship lurched violently. Jax sprang from his chair, blaster in hand, ready for the real fight. "Move out, people! We've got an empire to dismantle." The battle inside the hangar was brutal. Xathari's soldiers swarmed, their alien roars mixing with the screams and gunfire. Jax's crew fought fiercely, pushing forward against the tide. Amidst the chaos, Jax spotted Marla charging with her crew. "Told you we make a good team," he shouted over the din, his dark humor flaring even now. "Less chatting, more killing," she retorted, slashing through a Xathari soldier with deadly grace. Jax laughed, adrenaline and rage mingling in his veins. He pushed forward, his blaster blazing, cutting down any Xathari that dared to stand in his way. The stakes were higher than ever. Every step a battle for survival. They neared the central command of the flagship, the heart of the beast. Jax could feel it, that electric tension before the final blow. "Daniels, get me targeting coordinates for their core. We bring this ship down, and we end this." Daniels' voice crackled over the comm. "Coordinates locked, Captain." Jax's eyes blazed with determination. "Then let's finish this. Marla, fire on my mark." She nodded, her eyes fierce and focused. "Ready when you are." Jax raised his blaster, aiming for the control panel. 3, 2, 1, fire! The combined assault struck the core with pinpoint precision. The flagship shuddered, groaned, and then began to tear itself apart. Explosions rippled outwards, consuming everything in their path. "Time to go!" Jax shouted, diving for cover as debris rained down. He saw Marla and her crew making their escape, bloodied but determined. They barely made it back to the ravenous asterisk, as the flagship exploded in a spectacular fireball. The shockwave sent them tumbling, but the ship held steady. Jax collapsed into his chair, breathing hard but grinning. "We did it. By the stars, we actually did it." Marla's voice came through the comm, exhausted but triumphant. "Never doubted you for a second." Looking out at the wreckage of the Xathari flagship, Jax allowed himself a moment of dark satisfaction. The Xathari had underestimated humanity and paid the price. And he wasn't done yet, not by a long shot. Jax leaned against the railing of the ravenous asterisk, the debris of the Xathari flagship still smoldering in the distance. Victory tasted sweet, but it came with a bitter edge. Lives lost, wounds still fresh. But for a fleeting moment, humanity had proven itself. Marla's ship, the Black Serpent asterisk, hovered nearby, like a lurking predator finally satisfied. Jax could see her standing at her own viewport, observing the aftermath. He decided to reach out. "Marla," Jax said over the comm, his voice softer than usual. "We made it, mostly intact." Her chuckle was a low ripple. "Didn't think pirates had such determination, did you?" Jax glanced around at his weary crew, all sharing a collective sigh of relief. "Not bad for a bunch of scoundrels," he said, the corners of his mouth lifting slightly. A moment of silence stretched between them, heavy with unspoken thoughts. Finally, Marla spoke again. "What now, Jax? The Xathari aren't completely gone, just licking their wounds." He turned his gaze to the stars, as if seeking answers from the cosmos itself. "We keep fighting," he said, "one battle at a time, until they understand that Earth is off limits." Marla nodded as if conceding to an invisible argument. "And when that's done, what becomes of this alliance?" Jax considered her words. The darkness of space mirrored the uncertainty of their futures. "Maybe we keep it going. Maybe we part ways and become rivals again. Either way, we've danced once in the flames. You'll always be a part of this story." Marla's smile was almost visible through the comm's static. "Not a bad legacy for pirates." "Not bad indeed," Jax agreed. He disconnects the comm and looks towards Daniels, who busied himself with post-battle checks. The ship was bruised but still fighting. "Daniels, how's our status?" Jax asked, though he already knew the answer would be a grisly one. Daniels sighed. "Hull breaches on decks 3 and 5. We've lost good people, but we can still fight." Jax nodded, a dark resolve settling into his bones. "Begin repairs, Daniels. We need to be ready for the next round." As his crew moved to their tasks, Jax allowed himself a rare moment alone. Memories surged forward. The cold touch of the slave pit, the searing pain of lashes, the cruel laughter of Xathari guards. Compared to that, this, the clash of battle and fire, was a release. Only now his fire had a purpose. He clenched his fists, feeling the coarse texture of his gloves, a reminder of every life he fought for. "The Xathari will never enslave another human," he vowed silently, the words like steel in his mind. The ship's med bay was crowded with wounded, the air thick with the smell of antiseptics and quiet moans of pain. Jax walked among them, offering words of encouragement, humor where he could, strength where he must. Each face he saw, each life saved, was a silent affirmation of their cause. In one corner, a young engineer named Lena struggled to sit up, her face pale but her spirit unbroken. "Captain," she croaked, "did we win?" Jax knelt beside her, his voice a soft rumble. "We did, thanks to you and everyone here." Her smile was a flicker of light. "I knew we could." As he left the med bay, Jax felt a renewed surge of determination. They had won a battle, true, but the war raged on. With every victory, they grew stronger, more united. Earth would stand and humanity would triumph, not because they were invincible, but because they were relentless. Back on the bridge, Jax found Daniels waiting. "Captain, we've received a message from Earth's Fleet Command. They want a debrief." "Patch them through," Jax said. A holographic image of Admiral Reyes flickered into view, her expression one of stern gratitude. "Captain Holden," she said, "your actions today have put a serious dent in the Xathari's plans. Earth owes you a debt." Jax's smile held a glint of his dark humor. "Just doing what any self-respecting pirate would, Admiral." Reyes' lips twitched in the ghost of a smile. "We'll need your help in the coming days. This truce with Captain Drake, it must hold." "We'll hold," Jax assured her, "and we'll fight." As the communication ended, Jax felt a sense of purpose harden into unyielding resolve. He turned to his crew, his voice ringing through the bridge. "We've tasted victory. Now we show the galaxy what humans do when threatened. We fight, we endure, and we win." Cheers erupted around him, a chorus of defiance and hope. In that moment, standing among his comrades, Jax knew that no matter how dark the void became, humanity would always find the light, and they would never stop fighting.